Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Sorry we couldn't meet in person. And I see Bob is on, but he is on by phone, and Deidre is connecting. Oh, here's Deidre. Hello, Deidre.
Hi, Deidre.
Deidre, you're muted.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
There we
go. Now you're all set.
Bob's muted too.
Bob is joined
I'm
by
on the phone.
He's on the phone and by computer, so he's you're juggling technology tonight.
I can see you, but you can't see me.
Of course, the best technology is if we sit together on one table. Hello, Michael.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to
Hi.
How are you?
Hello.
Good. Good.
Okay. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, I made it a minute early. I should log off again, log back on again to be on time.
Who do you think you are, Bob Munson?
Anyhow, okay. Oh, let's see. There's one more logging on.
Patrick.
Patrick is logging on?
Patrick is logging on.
Okay.
Peter, before the meeting?
Yes.
I had someone who wants to be on the planning commission. So what do I do? Just send you the name and contact information?
Yeah, why don't you do that? Just email to me and I'll get in touch with them.
Perfect.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you, Deidre.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think we have everyone online that we need. And so let me call the meeting to order, Thursday, May 12th, 2022. And follow our agenda here, see what we have. First of all, identification of our members.
Want me to start?
Vice Chair.
Anybody can start, and we'll just the next person can go.
Pauline Kropsic, member.
Bob Munson, Vice Chair.
Peter Phillips, Chair.
Deirdre Daly, Secretary.
Chris Cody, member.
Michael Feldman, alternate.
Okay, I think we have everyone. There's no one else online. So let's see, we have 4 members here tonight, plus 1 alternate. Is that correct?
There are the 5 of you, or all of you, the regular members are here tonight.
Okay. Well, then we won't have to seat anybody additional. I thought I was going to sit Michael if we only had 4, but Michael, you can speak whatever you want to say during the meeting, but you can't vote. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to the next step on our agenda. That would be approval of minutes. Did you all have a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to accept the minutes as written?
Make a motion to accept the minutes as written.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Hi.
Aye.
Okay. Let's see now. That takes us to the one and only agenda item. And that is new business. It's an 824 referral to purchase property on North Street, map 19, lot 34. We have a request from Patrick, first selectman, to the planning commission, and a letter is attached, should be attached. Can we get that on screen, Julie?
Absolutely. That's the property, and there's your letter. Maybe
Okay.
blow it up a little.
So, well, I mean, I can read it, or if you, well, let me read it, okay? Planning Commission, on the recommendation of the Board of Selectmen, the town would like to enter negotiations for purchase of a 2-acre undeveloped parcel located on North Street, Zone A. Due to proximity to other town properties and locations in the center of town, the Board of Selectmen have agreed to move forward. Please consider the following proposal below. Notice, to consider an act upon an authorization for the first selectman, Patrick Roy, to negotiate contract for and purchase in an amount not to exceed the assessor's appraised value of $1,000 $172,960. Property consisting of 2 acres more or less on North Street in Roxbury, Connecticut, known as Assessors Map 19, Lot 34, currently owned by Charles C. Squire, trustee of the Charles C. Squire Revocable Trust, dated July 28, 2008. Resolution, be it resolved that the town of Roxbury, acting by town meeting and upon the recommendation of the Roxbury Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance, authorizes the first selectman, Patrick Roy, to negotiate, contract for, and purchase of property consisting of 2 acres more or less on North Street in Roxbury, Connecticut, known as Assessors Map 19, Lot 34, owned by Charles C. Squire, trustee for the Charles C. Squire Revocable Trust, or its successor, dated July 28, 2008, for a purchase price not to exceed the assessor's appraisal value of $170,960. Thank you for your consideration. Signed, Patrick Roy, first selectman. Now, with that, you also have a map that outlines the location of the property, which is north of the Roxbury Market, and the only property in between the Roxbury Market and the subject property is a small house that we all, I believe you know where that is. I know Bob is very familiar with the location and the owners.
You're talking about the old Marie White house.
The old Marie White house, yes.
Yep.
Now, it's in the purview of the Planning Commission on an 824 referral. All we do and should do is consider if that property acquisition is within the general process and requirements and thought process of the plan of conservation development. And due to the fact that it is, in fact, in the very same area as all the other municipal property buildings are, it certainly seems to fit that ticket. And it is, in fact, something that would be appropriate to acquire under this concept. And what we generally do is we simply vote on the fact that it is, in fact, consistent with our plan of conservation development, and enter an affirmative answer to the Board of Selectmen that we agree with that. Are there any comments in reference to that I can hear from the Commission?
Patrick, is Chucky Squire dead?
Yes, unfortunately, he passed away. So this conversation started while he was still around. It was his wishes that it get used for some town purpose. So we continued to move forward, and unfortunately passed away probably about a month ago.
But what was the purpose? What was his purpose of doing this?
He wanted to see the town have it. He didn't really want to see another house there. He felt that the town could use it, especially due to its proximity.
But as far as leaving it with his existing house, it would make, I don't understand it. That would make his property more valuable. Why? I don't understand why he was doing this while he was still alive.
He wanted to give something back to the town. That was his wishes, according to his daughter and son. This part, this particular, which, because it is separate, falls under the inheritance of his daughter at this point. So she would like to see that the town get that.
So Pat, is she disinheriting herself?
No, she would be selling it to the town.
Okay.
So this and the 172, which was used for reference, all that does is represent the assessed value that we will not negotiate over the assessed value.
Which is way too expensive to begin with. I mean, I expect you're going to say to me, "Oh, well, I'm going to negotiate for less than that." But if it's $5,000 less than that, it's too much for that piece of property. I mean, 2 acres, you can't do anything with 2 acres.
It is a building lot, though. It's already
town building, but
it is an approved building lot, though.
It is an approved building lot, a 2-acre lot.
Correct, because it was a building lot. It's always been a building lot.
So I guess may I just jump in here for a moment, if I may? we do have a map for just that parcel that has meets and bounds and has been surveyed and shows that it is a building lot.
Mhm.
Is that the
No, it's the other map, Julie, that you were on.
The one that I was on?
That one. Yep.
so we don't have a singular map for just a property. Once it's conveyed, would have to be conveyed with meets and bounds on it to be conveyed to the town. So there should be a survey on file, I would imagine, that shows that. I mean, it makes reference to the map as let's see what it say here. Map 19, lot 34. So that map should be in existence. I mean, which I'm not questioning it. I think, like I said, it's our purview to see if it ties into our plan of conservation development. So I have really no opposition to that, but I'm just curious if we do have a map that was surveyed and it shows that parcel with meets and bounds on it.
I don't know that it's been currently or recently been a survey. This does allow some money that had to be done, or if there were any additional fees in that. So there's a buffer actually put into that also. We had that discussion with the Board of Selectmen as well.
Okay.
So this was an approved building lot done prior to zoning.
Correct.
When you say it's an approved building lot, is it approved for a residential home or is it approved for commercial?
That would be residential in that. We don't have that there. We're not in the business zone. We're not in that at all. We're looking at residential here.
Okay.
That's in zone A,
correct.
which is a 3-acre zone. This is pre-existing to the zoning on that property. So
correct.
That would not be a problem.
So Patrick, what would the purpose of the acquisition be?
We don't have an exact purpose at this point. We don't have a need. I mean, have things been brought up if it could be possibly an ambulance building down the road or something. Because this kind of presented itself and we didn't necessarily have a plan, if we were to have used the land acquisition fund, we would have been limited to only recreation, open space, or affordable housing. And I think when we looked at it, we weren't sure what it wanted to be used. So we didn't want to pigeonhole ourselves into making that decision in advance. If this was to continue to negotiations, there has to be a town meeting for me to enter the negotiations. There would also have to be a town meeting and a vote to acquire the piece once we determine some type of negotiated fee. There is, to answer your question, Bob, there is a buffer built into that. It's not that close.
Well, I'm not worried about it being that close. I've just, to me, I don't know. We could say an ambulance building.
Just an idea, just something that's a possibility.
We're in good shape, all of that wise, and Lord knows, booth 3 is either going to be condemned or abandoned at some point. So we're going to have a chunk there. I don't see I can understand, to me, if you want to give it to the town for the town and stuff, then you give it, for nothing or a rock bottom price. But I mean, to negotiating that price up,
Well, actually, may I just say, I think pricing, negotiation power, and so on, that was already agreed upon by the Board of Selectmen. And again, our purview from the Planning Commission's purview is in line with, does it fit into our plan of conservation development? And clearly it does. I mean, if that whole area would be very conducive to add on to our town buildings, which are just across the street or diagonally across the street. So in any event, but I certainly recognize what you said, Bob, and I think you have a point. I also don't believe that it's worth that money, speaking from a pure realtor's point of view. But that's something that, Patrick, I'm sure you're going to negotiate it to the point where you feel it's a good price.
Correct.
Peter, I have a question for you. I'm as an alternate, I'm not going to be voting tonight, but I think this is a great learning experience. what's a reason why we wouldn't agree to it?
Well, if it was not in line with our plan of conservation development, or it would be totally out of the concept of improving that area. There's a section in the plan of conservation development that in fact makes reference to that entire strip of land north of the Roxbury Market and south of the Roxbury Market, all the way down to the intersection of 67 and I guess
Good Hill.
Good Hill Road. So,
yeah.
So that whole area was in a great debate as to whether or not we should look at that and improve it in the manner that actually it's being done by acquiring the property. So it's not out of the concept of what we had agreed upon in our plan of conservation development. From that point of view, that is actually the only area of it that's in our purview to determine that it is in fact part of and agrees with and ties into the plan of conservation development.
All right, so there's no real reason why we wouldn't move forward with it. I'm saying, what are some examples of things?
There would be if let's say the town would want to buy a piece of property that is miles removed from the center of town. It would be in a 4-acre zone up 67 close to Southbury. Something that's totally unrealistic in terms of having it fit into the configuration of all these town buildings.
No, I'm saying specifically to this particular subject matter. What are things that are potentially on the fence? Is there anything?
I can't hypothecate on that. I just if we get a request for an acquisition, we then have to make a determination: is it or is it not part of, or does it interfere with, or is there a danger that would interfere with the continuity of our plan?
Okay.
So we're not all that powerful tonight.
And Patrick, you're saying that your negotiations would be no greater than the appraised value?
Correct.
You would seek a lower price on it?
Correct.
Okay.
I think that the big part of this is the location. I mean, it's literally.
But it also comes out of the tax roll too.
It does.
One question I do have: the value that we see here, it says the assessor. Is it the assessed value or is it the appraised value? If that's the assessed value, we're talking about 70% of the appraised value.
No, we're talking about the appraised value.
The appraised value. Okay.
Yes. And it does list it in that letter. It was, and I just double checked that because he made me look. It is the assessor's appraised value.
Oh, the assessors. Okay. Known as assessor's map. Let's see. Yep. Okay, can see it. Okay. Known as assessor's map 19. Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I even read it out loud before and I just forgot. Must be my age.
I wanted to just validate that because you made me second guess myself, Peter.
I'm very happy you corrected me. Anybody else with any good questions or bad questions? Any questions at all?
So what's the assessed value?
That's the 172,960.
Oh, that's the appraised value.
That's the appraised
I'm sorry.
value.
The assessed value is 121.
That's actually 70% of the appraised value. That's a ratio on all taxation.
I just didn't feel up to doing the math right away.
Okay. Are there any more questions?
No.
Do I hear a motion to accept the 824 referral and answer in the affirmative to the Board of Selectmen?
I'll make a motion to accept the,
824 referral.
824 referral from the Selectmen's office.
For the acquisition of?
For the acquisition of
map 19, lot 34.
Map 19, lot 34. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mouthful.
Do I have a second on that one? Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 I assume it's unanimous.
I don't think
Julia?
Bob said I.
Oh, Bob didn't. Okay, Bob. Well, that's
Yep.
that's okay. You know, it's entirely up to
Yep. I'm a no.
you. You know. Okay. So we have 4 yeas and 1 nay. So the motion has been carried.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't create any more entertainment, but that's it. That's all I got in me tonight.
Oh.
So,
Thank you. Good night,
you're
everyone.
welcome.
Congratulations.
Motion to adjourn. Is anyone going to make a motion to adjourn?
Thank you for reminding us.
To adjourn?
Yes.
I second the motion.
Okay.
Aye.
All in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Aye.
Till
Thank
next
you,
month.
thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. And the next one we'll do as a real meeting where we all sit together and talk to each other.
Hope so. That'll be
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
Okay. Good night,
Stay well,
everyone.
everyone.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.